The halftime report on CNBC TV 18. Well, Insecticides India is a stock on our radar. It posted a mixed set of Q2 earnings. The revenues declined, but the EBITDA rose. So to give us a fine print of the numbers, we have the management with us, Rajesh Agarwal, who's the MD of the company, is joining in. Rajesh, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on the channel. There was a decline in the revenues because of a fall in the sale of your branded products division. The monsoon situation was a bit erratic this time, but going forward, what is the outlook for the second half of the year?
The expectation is quite good actually. This Q2 also started had a very good beginning. July was a good month actually. August and September, which August becomes the peak generally, but there were heavy rains in the month of August, due to which we had to suffer a little in the sales. But Q3 looks pretty good actually. The start has been good. And also there was pressure on the export sales in the Q2 because we were not getting the containers. We have very good expectation in this quarter actually, and we wish to cross 100 crores, which will be first time for the company in the export business. So we should be able to achieve that number in Q3. So I mean to say that we see good future prospects, good sales, because these rains which were problem in the Kharif season are good for the Rabi season. And there is good demand due to the change in the market scenario. The inventories in the trade are low. So overall, the expectation from the second half of this year are very, very good.
Okay, so expecting your export business to at least cross 100 crores, that would be for this entire second half?
Yes, that will be in the 9 months actually. The first 9 months, we should cross 100 crores.
Okay. For the first 9 months, you should cross 100 crores in terms of the export business. But Mr. Agarwal, I wanted to ask you about your new product launches. How are they doing? Your lethal product launch, which has actually done quite well, at least in the first quarter, as well as your Maharatna product range. Give us a sense in terms of these two product groups and what is your launch pipeline looking like as well?
The launch pipeline is very strong. We wish to launch 6 to 7 products. The idea of launching these products was this fiscal, but we missed out on the Kharif season because there were certain delays in grant of the registrations. And then there were certain changes in the plants which were required actually. And we are on the expansion route, and we are about to finalize or finish our expansion plans in Chopanki in Rajasthan by month of December. In Gujarat also, we expect to complete our expansion plans by February, March actually, which means that we will come into production and the products will come into actual. So we have a big pipeline for launching. About 5 more products are expected to come in next 4 to 5 months, and we are planning to launch this time as the product comes. The season will be not there. There will be little demand, but at least market will feel the product and let the product go into the market. That is the strategy. So immediately we'll launch. This year we have particularly launched a product called Hachiman. Again, it was in the we got sales of just 1.5 months actually. It was in the end of the season, but a very good beginning we have made with this Hachiman and Oxim. We have almost done a sale of about 20 crores this year, and next year we are going to multiply this actually. So the new pipeline is good, new products are good. There are certain products which will be coming through our Japanese partner called Nissan, and there will be some other products which will be coming out of our own R&D center actually. So there will be some products which will be manufactured for the first time in the country actually. So our expectation from these products is good actually. So the launches during this fiscal and the early next fiscal are queued up. And as the plants get ready and as we bag the registrations, which are expected very soon, we'll keep on launching these products.
Okay, so that's the launch pipeline, which is looking very robust. Mr. Agarwal, the last time we spoke to you, you had indicated to us that 70% of your imports for you come from China. What is the situation as far as raw material availability is concerned? And since prices have shot up, will that damage your margins in any way? What is the outlook for the second half?
We are working on that actually. Situation is really tight because yes, raw material comes from China. We are planning on our product mix actually in a fashion so that we keep on expanding our revenue from the Japanese products. First strategy. Second strategy is we are backward integrating and we are depending more on the new chemistries, because in the new chemistry it is easier to get the price. The impact of the market is minimal on these. But yes, generics are always under pressure and they are already under pressure. But I don't think that our profit margins and the top line, bottom line will get impacted in the Q2. We are prepared for the Q2 and we are working for the new year to come actually. So for that, we are making a strategy which will be majorly based on the new generation molecules. So we will be focusing more on new generation and we'll reduce our dependence on the generic molecules.
Okay, all right, Mr. Agarwal, just hold that thought because Asian Paints has confirmed taking another 4 to 6% price hike with effect or from December 5th. Remember that it was in the news at the end of October, start of November, because they had taken a cumulative price hike, which was one of the highest ever that they had taken, of around 8 to 9% on a blended basis. To put it into perspective, the kind of pressure that they've seen in terms of their raw materials has been that their Q2 margins came in at 14-year lows. So now this is an additional price hike that they've taken of around 4 to 6%. So this should probably cover their base in terms of margins quite significantly. It adds up to the 8 to 9% that they had already taken earlier or just about in the first or second week of November.
Also goes to show that if you want to paint your house, it's going to get
How
really
expensive,
expensive, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and also goes to show the demand. I mean, they're able to hike prices only because they can pass it on to people. There's so much demand perhaps in the market that the price hike will sort of go through smoothly to consumers.
Absolutely. And maybe we should pull up the other paint companies as well, the likes of Berger Paints, because it probably would be that once the leader takes the price hike, the others could probably follow suit more comfortably. So Berger Paints also in focus, up around 0.6%. So just keep your eye out on that. It's a cumulative price hike of 15 to 16% totally that Asian Paints has taken over a period of time. But Mr. Agarwal, in fact, talking about demand and price hikes, what is your demand scenario looking like at this point in time? You're bullish on exports, but what about the domestic market? And are you in a position to hike prices at all?
Yes, that is common across because if we look at the raw material pricing, may it be metal, plastics, paper, chemicals, solvents, everywhere the price has gone up actually. So we are under tremendous pressure to increase the prices. We are able to increase the prices to an extent, but yes, market is taking time to absorb it because the Kharif season, the first season has just finished, and at this time it is the harvest period in most part of the country. And now the Rabi, the second season, the winter season is catching up with the increased prices. So I would say that yes, there has been acceptance. And in a phased manner, we are increasing the prices. For certain products, yes, it is increasing every 20-25 days. For some other products, it is more or less stable.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot, Mr. Agarwal, for joining us and taking us through your business. But the big story right now is the massive price hike that Asian Paints is undertaking. Mangalam joins in. In fact, he has more details on all of this. Mangalam, clearly going to, cost an arm and a leg perhaps to paint your house. But tell us a little bit more. This is on top of the earlier price hike that they took.
This is on top of the earlier big price hike that they took. That's correct. So Asian Paints, this morning actually, a lot of dealers were messaging a lot of the people going ahead and some stock analysts as well. So we did have a few sales notes, but now we have confirmation from the management that they've gone ahead and taken a price hike anywhere between 4 to 6%. This is effective December 5th. A slew of price hikes that the company has taken. The first one was in November 12th in this quarter itself, which was post Diwali, which was close to the tune of 9 to 10 odd percent, which was the largest price hike that the company had taken at one go in a very long time. In fact, from the start of this year, the company in the first half had increased their prices by almost 6.5%. Over and above that was close to around 8 to 9%, so 15%. And now come December 5th, paint prices would be higher year on year by almost 20 odd percent. And this was in line with the way raw material prices have increased, right? The company has gone ahead and told us after the second quarter numbers as well that going ahead they will increase the velocity of price hikes, and that's exactly what they've done. In just the last 15 days, we've seen two announcements of almost 15-16% in terms of a price hike over and above 6.5% that they've taken in the first half. So roughly 20 plus percent growth in terms of realization is what the street can expect. But importantly, remember, there is no let up in demand. In the second quarter itself, we did see over 30-35% sort of volume growth coming in for Asian Paints. So strong demand at lower prices, and now they've increased the prices. So the impact on demand is something that we will have to monitor going ahead. But good for Asian Paints that they've gone ahead and increased their prices, because the margins, the margin performance for Asian Paints this time around was the lowest that we've seen in the last many years.
Okay, abysmal in terms of a margin performance. Mangalam, thanks very much for that. Well, yes, it came in at 12.7%, which was the lowest that we've seen in over a decade for Asian Paints in Q2 of FY22. So this should definitely assuage some concerns, even from the investor community, that yes, demand is strong, they have the ability to hike prices, and now margins should probably improve from those Q2 levels as well.